Now here we have two numbers, first is 252, second is 180. Now the question is, by what number should I multiply and divide these numbers so that it becomes a perfect square? At the moment they are not perfect squares, but we can multiply 252 with some number to make it a perfect square, or we can divide 252 with some number to make it a perfect square. Similarly with 180. So let's try out 252 first. Now when the question is what should be multiplied or what should be divided, then we are going to use the prime factorization method. This is very important, don't use the long division method. We have to use the prime factor method. So find out the prime factors of 252. So 2 goes 126 times, then again 2 63 times, 3 goes 21 times, 3 goes 7 times, and 7 goes once. So these are the prime factors. Now here you find that there are two numbers which form a group, 2 and 2, and 3 and 3 is also forming a group, but this 7 is left alone. So that means 252 is not a perfect square. But we can make it a perfect square by supplying one more 7 or removing this 7. So if the question is what should be multiplied with 252 to make it a perfect square, so the answer will be we have to multiply this by 7. Because when I multiply with 7, then I am going to get a group of 7 here. And when I multiply it by 7, you will get a number, and the square root of that number will be 2 multiplied by 3 into 7. So this answer is going to be 42. So 42 will be the square root of the number when I multiply 252 with 7. Now the second part of the question, by what should 252 be divided by so that it becomes a perfect square? So 252, again the procedure is same, we have already found out the factors, we find that this 7 is alone. Now what should be divided? If that question comes, then we have to remove this 7. So when we remove this 7, we are left with only 2 and 3, which forms a perfect square, that is 2 into 3, 6. So if the question is what should be multiplied with 252 to make it a perfect square, the answer is 7. And if I multiply by 7, then the square root of that number will become 42. And if the question is by what number should 252 be divided by, then also the answer is 7. But the square root of the number obtained will now be 2 multiplied by 3, that is 6. So we get this answer for 252. Now the same procedure we are going to repeat for 180. So find out the factors for 180. When we find out the factors for 180, starting with the lowest prime number 2, 2 goes 90 times, again 2 goes 45 times, 3 goes 15 times, 3 goes 5 times, and 5 ones are 5. So here we are having a group of 2, a group of 3, and here 5 is left alone. So when 5 is left alone, it is not a perfect square. So 180 is not a perfect square. So what should be multiplied with 180 to make it a perfect square? The answer will be we have to multiply 180 with 5. So that is going to be 2 into 3, and when I multiply it by 5, there will be 2 5s, and that becomes a pair. So 2 into 3 is 6, 6 into 5 is 30. So this 30 is the square root of the number when I multiply 180 by 5. For verification purpose, we can see this. 180 is the number. We will multiply it by 5. When I multiply by 5, we get 900. And when I take the square root of 900, we will get 30.